Good morning. Welcome to the Brew. It's Friday, and therefore we are talking to Paulina from CNBC today. She is going to talk about rate cuts, possibly. And then we're going to look at one of my favorite pandemic babies, Peloton. And lastly, Advanced Micro Devices goes on a little bit of a buying spree. So let's get right to that and more right after the bell. Paulina, I feel like we're having a nice dinner together, and that's the background music.
Yeah, that's.
Wow, interesting. Interesting. Okay, one of these days we're going to get that right. I don't know when, but we will. Hey, good to see you. Happy Friday, as always. Big weekend because we have Labor Day on Monday, so I hope your day is off. I don't know anyone that doesn't have Labor Day off. No one. No, I take that back. Someone does. The people at Costco have it off, or don't have it off.
Thankfully, I have off, so I'll get a chance to hang out with my family a little bit more, which I'm excited for.
Oh, that's awesome. Good. How are you? How's everything been? Good since we last chatted? Yeah.
Yeah, things have been good. Surprisingly, the month of August has been pretty busy. Usually it's kind of calm. August and September, they're kind of known for the more calm months throughout the year, but markets have been keeping us busy. We're sort of in the end of earnings season, but have a lot of stuff that I'm writing about.
Oh, good. Awesome. Good to hear. So on your hot list, this just in, we have rate cuts. You want to start there?
Yeah, so last week there was an important event out in Jackson Hole, Wyoming. There's an annual event. It's an economic symposium where central bankers across the entire world, they come to Jackson Hole to kind of talk about the latest economic happenings around the world. But everybody was mostly interested and centered on U.S. Central Bank Chair Jerome Powell. And what he was going to say in his speech. And essentially, the main takeaway from that speech is that the Fed is ready to pivot its policy and essentially cut interest rates. So that is signaling to the market that interest rates are coming soon, probably in its next meeting in September.
Okay.
And on that news, we saw tech stocks rise and other interest rate sensitive stocks like real estate rise, but we had other areas of the market not do so well, like consumer staples and utilities. This is a reminder that interest rates have a huge impact on the market, and that's what we were seeing last week.
Okay. By the way, why did they pick Jackson Hole? Do you know?
That's a good question. I don't know the history behind that, but
look that up. Yeah, I want to know, right? Because here's my thought. Jackson Hole I've been to, unbelievable little place that grew into kind of a really fancy smancy place. But if you said everyone from all over the world comes to this thing, right? So that tells me one thing. They're flying there privately. Because there can't be a big airport to service Jackson Hole, Wyoming, right?
Right.
So, it's okay. It's a great place. I like the idea.
I think it would be interesting for people to look into the history behind the Federal Reserve and how it was formed initially. When it was formed, the creators of the Fed, they wanted it to be, really secretive, and they didn't want journalists and other people trying to investigate. So maybe that's kind of taking a book out of history's page and having it in like a secluded area.
Gotcha. Makes sense. Now, are you in the camp? Are you in the camp that they are definitely lowering interest rates next time around, or maybe not? Where do you fall? Do you think?
Well, I like to look at this website called the CME FedWatch tool, and it assesses the probability of what of the magnitude of interest rates and where they're going to be going, and the probability of whether there's going to be a cut and how many basis points. that might go for. So the last time I checked, I think there's close to an 100% probability that they are going to be cutting in September.
Okay.
So, that's what the market sentiment is like. So
I gotcha.
it very well could be the case.
Yeah. So I think I know what you're talking about. So they make pretty much a book, the CME site, on odds of a rate hike, rate reduction, what have you. Okay. So do you, and I don't know this stuff, and if you don't know it, that's fine too, but do you fall into the soft landing or hard landing camp? Hard landing, I guess, being we have, real rapid economic slowdown, high unemployment, falling asset prices. To me, it doesn't seem like that's happening. And it's kind of baked in. If they're saying they're going to lower interest rates in September, we're going to start the landing. It seems like it's more moderate, hence soft. I don't know much about this topic too much. What do you think?
I think that, so the Fed is really focused on economic data, and the last month's economic data revealed a lot. So it showed that the consumer has weakened enough, the labor market has softened enough.
Yep.
So that means that they actually should have cutted earlier than their expected cut in September. So
Yep.
because of that economic data, that's why investors are pricing in a cut in September, because they feel that based on how the economy has been performing and how consumers are feeling, they should actually have already done that cut. So they're maybe a little bit late to that rate cutting cycle.
I gotcha. And that's just them being uber cautious, I'm assuming, right? On their end?
Yeah, I think that that's definitely the case. The Fed has to walk a really tight rope. I don't know if that's the right analogy, of not cutting too early, but also not cutting too late.
Right.
So I think they pretty much hit the mark as best as they could, and they're going to be hopefully cutting soon, which is not too late.
Right. And my guess is it's only a quarter is what we're talking about here, right? Probably a few series of a quarter cuts and call it a day or something.
I think so. If you want, I can look really quickly to see what the probability.
Oh yeah, what's the market on that?
Of a 25 or 50 basis point cut. It looks like there is so September 18th is the next FOMC meeting, and there is a 70% chance of so it's currently of a 25 basis point cut.
Okay.
Yes.
70% chance?
70% right now.
Okay. Interesting. And the other choice is doing nothing. I don't think there's a chance in hell that they raise it a quarter. I can't imagine there's a market on that one. Maybe there is. Maybe I'm not paying attention. I don't know. I can't imagine they do.
Yeah, I don't think there's a probability for that. There is a 30% chance of a 50 basis point. So that's in the market as well. But yeah, probably in the camp of a 25.
Okay. Got it. All right. Interesting. We'll be on the lookout for that one. Number 2, Peloton, right? So they had earnings. Apparently they were awesome. This was a pandemic darling, as you said in your write-up, which I remember. Everyone stuck inside. Let's lose some weight, or gain some weight for that matter. But let's lose some weight with a Peloton, and you have the instructors built into the little box there, which was kind of cool. I liked it. But they were like high flying, and then pandemic's over, and they got just crushed, right?
Yeah, you
summarized this one.
Yeah, you summarized that perfectly. So Peloton, they reported earnings last week, and their stock just completely soared 51%. Although I think you did note earlier that the stock's value is very low.
I'll look it up.
So yeah, it's 51%, but the price action is not that significant, I would say. I don't know if you have those numbers.
Let me look at it real quick. So I'm looking at a 1 month chart here. So let's say back in August, the middle of August 13th-ish, thereabouts, 289 on the stock, right? And then today we're at $5, 490, let's call it.
Yeah.
So that's quite the move, right?
Yeah, it is quite the move, I guess, right? But essentially what happened here, they had a report that exceeded expectations. Their sales rose due to really strong subscription revenues, and that was kind of offset by lower sales in some of its fitness products. But another thing that investors liked was that there was considerable cost savings that were made, and their forecast was pretty good too. They said that with those cost savings, they're going to be able to improve profitability.
Nice.
But they still forecasted lower sales for the current year. So,
but there's no new technology-driven sort of, we came up with the greatest thing. You don't even have to walk on it, and you're going to lose weight. So, there's nothing like that. It's just they're managing the process, right?
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. So I think the big move here was sparked because the stock's price is so low. That's probably what it was.
I got you. I don't have a Peloton. Do you have one?
I don't have a Peloton. I thankfully have a gym on my floor in my apartment.
So. Oh, there you go. Okay. Well, yeah, I have a gym, and I don't have a Peloton, though. I don't think, for me, I'd subscribe and watch a person talk to me. Just me. I mean, I'm just ruled that way. I would like to do it myself and get it done and move along. So, but I have used them before, and do my thing, and I pick my little hill challenge or whatever and call it a day. It's kind of good. And she always knows my name. It's amazing. How does she know that? Oh, I have to type it in. That's how she knows it. It's unbelievable. I love that. All right. Topic number 3, advanced micro devices, AMD, right? I think they have a position in this. They went on a shopping spree. They buying Z as in zebra, T as in tango systems, which I have no idea what that is. I haven't even Googled it yet. So tell me about this one.
Yeah, so let's break it down here. So AMD, they will be acquiring ZT Systems. ZT Systems is a data center solutions provider, and they're going to be buying it for roughly $5 billion. And the purpose behind the deal is pretty unique. First off, they obviously want to compete with NVIDIA. So AMD is a semiconductor company like NVIDIA. It's a bit smaller, but NVIDIA has the mind share of investors when it comes to semiconductors and AI, and AMD is essentially trying to chip at that and trying to get some of that market share. So what they're trying to do is gain some of those technologies and engineering talent that knows how to develop this market. So like I said, the deal is valued at $4.9 billion, and AMD is planning to sell ZT's manufacturing business, but retain the talent. So actually a Wall Street analyst, he called this deal an acqui-hire because AMD is trying to leverage the expertise that ZT has, but they're essentially going to be getting rid of the manufacturing business. So that's an interesting strategy there.
So they're buying the talent. That is what you said, right?
Essentially, yeah.
So no hardware or no bricks and mortar, essentially, but buying talent.
Yeah.
So it sounds like from what I'm reading that this is AMD's I don't know if foray is the right word, but their foray into the long-term AI strategy to compete and position themselves, against NVIDIA or with NVIDIA, however you want to look at it. Obviously NVIDIA is the leader, right? So in this area, so the AMD boys are saying, hey, let's get on the pony and get moving here.
Yeah, and it's actually a huge issue within the tech industry. The education when it comes to building AI infrastructure and the software and all the back end techie things. There's the knowledge of people who know how to develop this industry is very, very small. So the people that do have that knowledge, they're prioritized and they're giving out really, really good pay packages to people who are familiar in this field. And that's why AMD is focused on this deal. That's
awesome. I love it. Yeah, I'm going to keep an eye on this one as well. I'm almost positive I trade AMD at some time, so that's good to know. Awesome. Good. Okay. What else is cooking? Anything else? I think that was it, right? We had our 3 topics, which I love. Makes it super nice and easy. You got big plans this weekend? No?
Yeah, this weekend I'm going to be going back to Philly and visiting the family for the holiday weekend.
Nice.
So I'm excited to see them and
That's
catch up
that's a
with everyone.
train ride away, right?
Yep, it's a train ride away. It's pretty
Okay.
close.
So like an hour and a half.
Roughly, yeah, almost 2 hours.
Is there beverage service on the train ride?
I don't use they have this little like cafe within the train, which is
Oh,
nice.
nice. I'd
But
want to get in the car with the seats that recline, and someone comes up and
yeah,
says, "Can I get you something to drink?" I mean, yeah, I'd love to have a drink for the ride. It's a long enough ride, right?
it is. It is. It goes by pretty quickly though,
It
because the
does.
train is really fast.
I've done that ride once in my life.
Hmm.
I think the other way around, Philly to New York. I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really great.
Cool. Well, be safe. Thanks for coming. You have a great long weekend. I always love long weekends. I wish we had a Friday, Monday off situation, because that would be
Right.
epic, right? So by
Or just
Thursday,
a
you're.
4-day work week.
Oh, there you go. I feel like we have that anyway. All these remote workers now. I mean, it seems like every day's a holiday. Get your work
Right.
done and do your other stuff while you're at it. So whatever, we'll figure it out, right, Paulina?
Always. We always do, right?
All right, cool. Good to see you. Have a great weekend. Be safe. We'll see you next week on the Brew on Friday. And guess what? Molly says she'll be back. We shall see. We're going to hold her to that.
Yes.
All right. You have a great one. Great to see you. All right.
Great to see you too.
Bye,
Bye.
Paulina.
You know how the financial world goes. Here comes the buzzkill. Please make sure to take some time to read this boring disclaimer. We will owe you one.